good evening. Welcome to the Inspiring Vision series. I'm Dr. Liz, the founder of Visionistas by Design, and I'm here with my special guest.
Hi, I'm Hannah Bennett. I am a Visionistas by Design intern.
Yes, so Hannah is our Inspiring Visionista tonight, and we are going to spend some time getting to know Hannah, getting to know what she has been doing here with Visionistas by Design. We'll talk a little bit about what Visionistas by Design actually is, in case you're not familiar with that. And we have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about vision and why I think Hannah is inspiring. We are also going to talk about the psychology of style, which is something we've been working on over the summer. And we would love for you to be interactive during this video. So posting any comments or questions that you might have for us during the video, we will try to answer them if we can. And what we will say is that we will respect your privacy, so that if you do not want your name mentioned, feel free not to comment and we won't mention your name. But if you do comment, we will call you out by name and say hi if we see them. Sometimes the comments don't come all up at one time, so if we don't mention you and you commented, it might be that we just missed it.
Yeah. And if you still have any questions but you don't want to comment, feel free to DM us at Visionistas by Design or leave a comment later and we'll get back to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
So first we're going to get started on how we came to be connected this summer. So I'll let you kind of just talk a little bit about what brought you to reach out to me and tell us a little bit about yourself.
All right, so my name is Hannah Bennett. I am a junior at Bloomsburg University. I'm also a psychology major, which is why I reached out to Dr. Liz. The reason why I reached out to Dr. Liz was actually I had a wonderful professor that taught one of my classes this year at Bloomsburg, who at the start of every class, the first 5 to 10 minutes, would share a inspirational quote or just a story. And one of the days she started talking about how she had a student that reached out to a local practice who she didn't know or anything like that, and how she walked away with this wonderful internship and job. And I said, I want that. I want to do that. So sure enough, I looked around in the area and I remembered that I had an old cheering coach of mine who's actually Dr. Liz's sister-in-law who told me about you. So I said, maybe I should reach out to her. And sure enough, I did. And here I am.
Yeah. So I was really excited to get your email. So that was, I would say, May.
Yes.
Right? You were ending your semester. And you reached out and said, can I be an intern for you this summer? So I'm a psychologist with a private practice in Bethlehem, and I am so fortunate because I am living my dream. I love so much my job and love the work that I do in my office. I used to be a teacher, and I also really get energized by presenting and teaching and kind of reaching a bigger audience than what the clients that I see in my office. And so that is kind of how Visionistas by Design came about. I enjoy and I'm passionate about inspiring people, empowering people, especially empowering women and girls to be strong and powerful. And with social media, it is the best platform in our time to reach people where they're at. To be able to sit in your living room and watch a video or scroll through Instagram and see inspiring quotes or just stories about people or funny things. And, it doesn't take the place of connecting in person because obviously that's super important. But it is a nice addition to being able to do that. So Hannah has been working with Visionistas by Design this summer. And so I'll let you tell a little bit about what it's been like for you to be an intern with Visionistas by Design.
So being an intern with Visionistas by Design has been super great. So my tasks that I've been doing is I've been uploading inspirational quotes and stuff that I find online to the Visionistas by Design Instagram and Facebook, which is super motivational itself for me because I love looking for different quotes and I find myself being inspired by them too, which is great. So I love sharing them across a platform and, you know, connecting with different women in that way. So I've also been just doing different events and things with you, which has been so motivational for me, as I do myself want to also get into empowering women and doing that as well. So it's been so great. It's been awesome. And I've just been learning so much from you and the different women. It's just incredible.
Yeah, so we've definitely had a packed summer of fun and fun connecting, fun empowering.
Yes.
So I love the work that you've been doing on our pages. So if you don't follow Visionistas by Design, please do so on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
Visionistas by Design on both of them. And so what happened in the beginning was we met with Erin, my sister-in-law, who is a social media influencer. She started her own social media platform, which is Accidental Supermom, when her son, a little bit after her son was diagnosed, my nephew, with type 1 diabetes. And it was a creative outlet for her to write about it, and then she was writing about that, and then she started branching out and writing just about life in general and being a mom of, at that time it was 3 children under 3. Yeah. And so through that she has become a professional social media influencer. So
she's great. I'm not a mom myself at all. I am 20 years old, but she cracks me up too. I can relate to so many of her posts. It's great. Yeah.
So we met with her. I think that was kind of one of the earlier things that we did in the summer together was we sat down with her and she helped us, kind of gave us some social media tips about how to use social media at the right times and how to post and how to create content.
Yes.
Right? So some of the things that you'll see on Visionistas by Design is finding other people's content that's already out there and kind of spreading it, so reposting some of those motivational quotes and stories, and then some of it is actually created by us, some of it's original creation stuff, so that's really exciting. And then we attended a women's empowerment summit that was hosted by Veronica Moore and her company Alma and Eva, and so we did that together and connected with a lot more women, more. It was, the energy there was
incredible.
Amazing.
It was from 8 a.m. to about 4:30 in the afternoon.
And we could have been there for plus more hours with all the fun.
Yeah, just
energy.
Listening to all different kinds of speakers and meeting women of all different backgrounds. It was so incredible. I walked away learning so much about overcoming my fear and just listening to women and owning your power, and just the connections that people were making was just so incredible. I feel like that's the only word I can use to describe it. It was just mind-blowing for me.
It was, and I loved having you there. It's fun to go with a friend.
Yeah.
So we definitely got more, we were connected there and felt empowered by that event together. And it gave us more things, more material then to post, and more just inspired us. And when you're feeling inspired and connected and energized, it's just catchy.
Yeah, it oozes out of you. You just want to pass it along to everyone you know.
Yes. So with Visionistas by Design, one of the main things that is a pillar of that platform is the formula Dream, Design, Deliver. And Dream, Design, Deliver is a fluid process that can be used to accomplish your goals and your dreams and your vision. So it's important to have long-term goals, vision of what you want your life to look like, even if it's far in the future. You can create a vision board for that. You can just kind of think about it and put it out into the universe, either by writing it, drawing it, talking about it. So you and I sat down and worked through that for yourself. And I wonder if you would share a little bit about what that process was like for you, really kind of envisioning some of the things that you want to do or would dream to do, and how have put that into practice?
Yeah, so it really did bring up a lot of things as I sat down and read through it of what do I need to be doing right now? Because yes, I can attend my classes all I want and can talk to my professors and do that, but it's like, what can I be doing? Not what other people are telling me, what do I need to do for myself as well? So I do want to earn my doctorate in psychology someday.
Yay.
And I do want to open my own practice or retreat. So it really made me sit down and look back and think, okay, like what should I be doing? So I started recognizing, all right, like what grad school should I start looking at? Like what tests am I gonna have to take? Like is there any way I can start preparing for those now and just start pushing the stress off of myself? But it was so helpful for me to have it all written out and just have each step and mentally preparing for things and physically like, okay, like how can I decompress while I'm trying to achieve these goals and doing crazy stressful things. But it was so helpful for me.
Yeah. So I loved your retreat idea because I think that was something that we shared. I would love someday to have some kind of workshop or I guess retreat or getaway sanctuary type of thing. And mine's the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Or some kind of island with a beach. And
yeah.
you have a different
mine
venue.
Mine would be more in upstate New York because I have family that's from up there and I fell in love with it.
Yeah. So I was just actually in upstate New York and it is beautiful, so peaceful.
Yeah.
We actually stayed in a place that had no Wi-Fi, which is kind of, if you've ever heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it is now like at the bottom. It is one of our basic needs is Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi, there was no TV. So it forced us, which was really neat, to connect in other ways, which we love to do, but sometimes in our busy lives, it's just so easy to sit down with your device.
Yeah.
And again, not saying that it's a bad thing to do, but in moderation, right? And balance.
For sure.
So yeah, upstate New York is a beautiful place.
Yeah,
Lots
absolutely.
of lakes up there too. So.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, so that is exciting and empowering to think about how you were able to come. And really what was exciting for me is that you're 20 and you are going into your junior year in college. And when I was a junior in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I was not as I was not as like on a path as you seem to be, which I think speaks to the fact that some people are and some people aren't, and it doesn't, it's okay, because you can kind of still be exploring, or you can know what you want to do. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about what is it that you feel has really pushed your passion towards psychology and empowerment and
so
that kind of goal.
I always used to want to be a teacher. I was dead set on being a teacher all through my life and all through high school. I was like, you know what, I want to just empower kids and I want to be a huge influence in their lives. That's just something I've always been super passionate about with both my friends and younger kids that I was like involved with, babysitting, stuff like that. So I ended up taking a psychology class my senior year of high school, which really just opened up this huge door for me. And I was like, wow, like you can influence people in other ways. Like you just don't have to be a teacher. And around that time, my parents had actually started going through a divorce. So I was seeing a psychologist myself and I was like, wow, like this person that I barely even know is impacting me. And she's impacting people of all different ages and backgrounds. Like I could do that too. I don't have to be set on just one grade. So my passion really started growing there when I started researching psychology and what it's all about and all the different things you can do for it. I've always had this passion for just empowering others and being a positive light in people's lives as much as I can. So I think that's where that really started coming about.
Yeah.
That's what's just been driving me through my schooling now is like, I can do this. Like I can motivate others. I can motivate myself as well. So might as well do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. And I know for myself, going to therapy and around the time that I was in college was a very pivotal time for me because it's a transition period, right?
Yes.
You're kind of moving from living at home, being under the roof of parents, guardians, and then you're kind of out on your own, so to speak.
Yes.
And it's a big transition. So that was, for me, a really pivotal time in my life where I sought therapy, and it was amazing for me. And I still remember that, my therapist in college. And actually, when I was in my program, earning my doctorate, I reached out to her because we had to do like a paper that talked about what got you in here, and it reminded me of how influential her help and treatment was for me. Yeah. So that's a neat connection that we share. Yes. And that's fun too. We've been learning about each other throughout this journey as well. So I really want to I'm going to pause and kind of say hi to our people that are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed the beginning, we would love to hear any questions or comments that you might have throughout the program, throughout this segment, the Inspiring Vision series. So please, if you feel like you want to comment something, or someone likes upstate New York, I just kissed it.
Yes,
hi, Erin. Thank you for bringing us together. So, I just lost my train. I lost my train of thought. I was going to say that we were talking, just in the beginning about why I was so inspired by you doing this, and why I chose you for this segment. Is that Hannah's been working as the intern for Visionistas by Design this summer, and something that's you're sharing.
Yeah, she's share the live stream so my friends can see it too.
So one of the things that was really inspirational for me with you, Hannah, was that it takes courage to reach out to someone that you don't even know. It helps when you, look, you're watching.
I am watching.
So did you share it?
Yes, I did. Okay. So yeah, it was terrifying, but I didn't have anything to lose. Like, if you said no, I would just go and find another person, and just keep trying until I succeeded. It's hard hearing no. Yes, it is, but it was no lose-lose situation there. Yeah. Either way, I was going to learn something, or I was going to end up with an awesome internship, which I did.
Yeah, and I think that's a neat message for people who are in a transition, whether it's transitioning from high school to college, from college to grad school, from grad school to the working world, or from high school to working. There's so many transitions in life, and you're 20, right? But these kinds of transitions happen at all different ages, whether it's a job change, or having a baby, or getting married, or finding a partner and moving in together, retiring, stopping working. These things can be really we look forward to, kind of like, I can't wait till I retire, and then sometimes you get there and you're like, what am I supposed to do now with my life? So this kind of transition period can have similar features at all different stages of life. Is there any kind of like tips that you would give someone like your age that you feel like has helped you in this journey, or any part of your life that you feel like that's something that I would love to pass along?
I definitely think following your gut and trusting yourself. That's something that I've had to learn, because before, I feel like I definitely would listen to what other people were telling me, like, you should be doing this for school, you should be doing this. And I even have people today come up to me at my job and they're like, oh, what are you doing with your life? I'm like, I'm a psychology major. They're like, well, are you doing this, this, and this? And it's like, no, but I trust myself. I know what I'm doing. Yes, I'll take your advice, but sometimes you don't have to, and you don't have to not worry about what everyone else is thinking. You just gotta say, okay, what do I need to do for me? And I think that's the best thing that I've had to learn, is
I love that.
Learning how to live my life for me and not what everyone else is telling me.
Absolutely. And it really does take knowing yourself, right? So sometimes that can be a process in itself to just kind of sit with yourself sometimes and figure out, who am I? Who do I want to be? Am I aligning my actions with my goals?
Yes.
Which is part of really kind of working the vision and following that. So I want to get to the fashion because if you know me, you know I love fashion and clothes and accessories. It's just something I feel like for me that it's a creative outlet along with writing and doing presentations. I love getting dressed for fun.
Me too.
Although I will say about myself, I can be an extreme. Like, so if you see me at the grocery store, you're gonna see me probably in sweatpants and a sweatshirt.
Me too.
But if you see me at work, I like to dress up for work. It makes me feel professional. It makes me feel confident.
Yes.
I remember when I was in high school taking the SATs, my best friend, two of my best friends, picked me up to take me to the SATs. And I got in the car and I was like, ready to go, just hadn't really prepared studying wise, but I got showered and dressed and put perfume on, and my friend's like, did you shower before the SATs? And I said, yes, I did. I showered and I did my hair and I got dressed.
Yeah, they say when you feel good and feel good in what you're wearing and stuff, you actually perform better on tests. That's something that I've learned. So if you'll see me heading to classes wearing my yoga pants, big hoodies, got my boots on, no makeup, hair up, but test days, which are the days you think none of that should happen, I'm walking in with jeans and a nice shirt, got my hair all done, makeup on, I'm like, I'm ready to go. I can face this. I can do it.
So I want to stop because we had a comment from Stephanie. Do you know that?
Yes.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. She said that she loves the phrase "sit with yourself" because we really don't do that enough. If we're sitting with ourselves,
it's with your phone.
We're like this.
It's with your phone, yeah.
Sitting with ourselves on our phone. And I do think that that's a really important piece of getting to know yourself and getting in touch with what you want in life.
No, it is. I find myself doing that at school sometimes if I feel overwhelmed or stressed with an exam or something like that. It's like, all right, let's sit down. Let's think, why am I so stressed? Is there anything else I can be doing? Should I be, studying more? Do I need to step back? Am I overwhelming myself? But it's always just so beneficial to say, is there anything else that's bothering me? Like, what's going on? Because sometimes I feel like we don't check in with ourselves enough. So I do think that's a very important and key phrase there.
Yeah, I love that. So back to fashion.
Yes.
So one of the things so we're going to share a couple tips. We did a little bit of work this summer and kind of did a little bit of reading about the psychology of style and how we can use our energy to help influence what we wear, what we look like on the outside, right? So we do, we as women in this country, we spend millions, probably billions of dollars on what we look like. And let's be honest, because it does make us feel good. When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you look better. It's true.
It radiates out of yourself.
Yes. And so I really liked there was an article that you found, what's the psychology of style, what's the real reason behind your look by Odessa Paloma Parker. And I just was curious. So if you have any questions about the psychology of style as we're going, please post them. But one of the things that was really fun for me to see is that your style is absolutely shaped by where you come from, your personality, but also your cultural and your family background, which is neat because we kind of put ourselves into like, I'm this age, so I can only wear this kind of outfit, or I can't wear this outfit.
Oh yes.
And I think sometimes we feel limited by age or gender identity or any of those other kinds of identity factors.
Yes.
But it's neat to break out of that and kind of take a risk, use a little bit of courage and try something new and see what it does to your mood.
Agreed. Yeah. psychology of style is super interesting because it's not just like, oh, like you need to be wearing this. It's not like what not to wear. I know they reference that in the article where they're sitting there like, you need to be wearing this for your style. You should be wearing this for your body type and this for your hair color and different things like that. But it's more like, how do the clothes make you feel? How do you feel when you're wearing this outfit? Do you radiate like confidence and power? Do you feel timid and like you shouldn't be wearing that? And just helping to break out of that barrier that we set for ourselves and that society sets for us as well.
Yeah. And I would challenge you to think about what your favorite colors are, right? So I love blues.
Me too.
You love blues too. And I love the whole rainbow of blues. It's one of my favorite colors, and I do have a big chunk of that in my closet. But I think a lot of times it's important to understand how does what you wear reflect who you are. And sometimes you don't have to like get a whole new wardrobe in order to do that, but you can like get pieces, like maybe a necklace that's blue when you're wearing a white shirt, or a scarf, or an accessory, a pair of shoes, a handbag. If you feel like my favorite color is yellow and then there's no yellow in your closet, well, maybe that's a tip to find something that you might really feel excited and invigorated with, and maybe it doesn't have to be a main article of clothing, but it could be an accessory.
And you can find too different colors that you feel a certain way about and radiate that as well. So I know an example that they used in the article was the color red. So if you have a positive thing towards the color red, you feel powerful and you like it, and you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's a strong color. Maybe try wearing that yourself and feel the energy from the color as well, which sounds super cheesy, but it has an impact. It really does, give you that energy as well.
Yeah. And another question that I really loved from the article was, what are you missing in your life that you feel like you need to change? And if we think about that just as a question in itself, it's really a powerful question, something that you feel is missing, or something you feel like could be stronger in your life, and what are some ways that you can make changes to insert that in? It doesn't have to be a huge overhaul of your life. And I think that really ties in nicely with what we were talking about with transitions, is that when you feel you're going through a transition and you feel like you're on rocky ground, you feel like the bottom has dropped out because you lost something that was part of your identity, whether it was a job or a relationship, it can really cause you to buckle down and feel scared about other parts of your life, which again adds to that fear. But if you take little steps, right, and say, okay, what small changes can I make to make me feel a little bit better, it can make us feel more secure and able to get through those transitions more smoothly.
Yeah. And I mean, it can be a whole life thing, or it can also be with style. So like buying that one yellow purse or, red shirt to make yourself feel that way, it can just help fill some little gap in yourself that you feel like you may be lacking.
So I have a question. If anyone is watching that participates in the newer up and coming things, I guess it's not super new, but like Stitch Fix is a company that you can they send you, if anybody participates in Stitch, I do not.
I used to. My mom used to. But yeah, and they also have different makeup companies now too, right, where if you don't want to test all different kinds of makeup, you can say, I'm looking to be adventurous, I want to try new things. But I mean, I think those companies are super awesome, where you just pay like a cheaper rate, but you still are getting new things you can get out there, but you don't have to pay for full price things.
Right.
Yeah.
Another company out there is Rent the Runway.
Yes.
Where I've never tried it.
I've used it as well. Yes.
Look at you.
Yeah, different dresses for different occasions that you don't want to spend a bunch of money on, but you still want to feel like cool and fun in a new dress. You can go and get items that were seriously like made by these nice designers, right, and rent them for a cheap amount of money just for the night, which is great.
So I am surrounded by friends and people who have used these services before, I don't know. I've never tried it. So
Yes.
that might be something I try in the next couple of months.
That's
renting the runway.
Yeah, and that's a way that you can fill in some of those little gaps and try it.
Because then you send it back.
Yeah, and you don't have to commit
It's
to
not yours forever.
It's perfect, yeah.
And I think maybe part of that is I actually am a saver. So a saver, not of money. That I'm not good at. Better than I used to be. But I save, so some of the pieces in my closet I've had for a long, I'm talking over 15 years probably. Like staple pieces. I used to work at Express.
Yeah.
And I did not make income there, even though I worked there. I probably bought more clothes than I made the money for, but it was fun. And that was it. I think I was kind of in that period of my life that was fun for me at that time. But yeah, so it's hard for me to think of like getting something I love and then having to send it back. But I think the neat part of that is it gives you an easy, cheaper, less expensive way to try out things you might not normally be able to purchase and keep, and then you can send them back.
And I mean, and you can even go out and find things. Yeah, I mean, I believe you can commit and buy the item if you do want to. But you can go find similar like styles if you don't want to commit to buying a certain style, but you still want to try it out. You can still go out there and go to Target or something and find something like there.
Yeah. And another thing you can do, what I love to do, someone,
yeah.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if you can see the whole comment. Oh, I tried Stitch Fix, but quite a bit more than I care to spend on clothes for myself, but it was fun to get. And then Yvonne, I think that's awesome. I never like wearing the same dress again, usually. Anyhow, absolutely. Example to a wedding.
Yes.
Like you buy a dress and then you're like, I already wore that.
Mm-hmm. Especially with social media nowadays, and it's like, well, everyone
will
already
know.
see these pictures of me in this dress. What do I do? But
absolutely. And another, what I was going to say is one of the things that I've always loved to do, and maybe when I was growing up, I would shop at thrift stores.
Oh, I do.
Which was so fun, and my parents were like, what is that? Like these. I went through a phase where I was like wearing these sweaters that were like probably for older men, like old men sweat, Mr. Rogers maybe.
Oh, yeah.
But it was fun. It was like my style at that time.
Mm-hmm.
But now vintage, right? So vintage and places like Plato's Closet and the Attic in Bethlehem are places where you can go and get things that are already used.
Yes, but they do a lot of the places accept like designer clothes, and you can get them for cheaper, and they really scour through your clothes.
They do.
Like I brought my clothes to places like that before, and it's always like scanning.
Right,
like they'll find a little tug and they'll be like, no, like we can't take this. But
yeah. So again, it's how to dress fabulous on a budget.
Yes.
These are some other options that you can try out other than Marshalls.
Love
Who
Marshalls.
doesn't love Marshalls?
We have a Marshalls at school. It's bad.
So we're going to switch. Just the last thing we're going to touch on tonight is something that we work together in collaboration with Ashley Thomas and Erin DeBoer, Accidental Supermom, and Ashley is the owner of 610 Hair Studio. Mm-hmm. We did an event, hosted an event called Goal Diggers Social. So digging for your goals and accomplishing your dreams, and the three of us and four of us and Hannah all participated and led a segment in that workshop. And I'll let you start off and talk about what it was like for you to be a part of that, because one of the goals of our internship experience together was for you to have some kind of culminating project that you put out there besides this, that you actually took ownership of, and you can put it on your resume and said, I did this, I led this activity in a workshop. And so talk a little bit about what that event was like for you.
Yeah, so that event was incredible, not only just learning from you, and we learned different parts of each other and just communicating with the different women there, but learning more about social media through Erin and hearing Ashley's story, because she's so incredible. Love her so much. It was fantastic, and women of all different ages and all different backgrounds, doing all different things with their lives, and some, you know, are accelerating, and some are just at that little rut that they need that extra push. I thought it was absolutely incredible, and it was super fun doing like my little segment. We did a little fun game with balloons.
Yes, it was really fun.
Popping some perceptions about ourselves while literally popping balloons. But it was great, and just to say, like, I helped come up with ideas for that, and I ran my own section of it was just incredible, and just made me feel like so great and empowered myself, knowing that even just a simple little game with balloons could help really impact people and how they thought about themselves, and think about how others thought of them as well.
Yeah, so I really loved your segment because it really helped pull everything together. So I talked about the Dream Design Deliver formula for goals and vision. Erin talked about maximizing your creative outlet, and with a social media spin of how to use it, how to be a consumer of it as well. And Ashley talked about owning your worth.
Yes.
And then yours was a kind of pulling it all together, where the participants who were there, it was a very nice, intimate size where people felt a sense of safety. People were laughing, some people were crying. We were sharing and connecting, and you led a beautiful segment of helping us to identify our personal strengths.
Yeah, so everyone wrote down a strength of theirs in a balloon, and then we all closed our eyes and threw them into the circle. And then when we were done and opened our eyes, we had to pick one and guess whose strength it was. So it really did help to think, oh, well, this person can see the strength in me after knowing me for not even 3 hours. So maybe I do have this strength. Maybe I haven't recognized that. So I thought it was really awesome.
Yeah, and it was neat for me to hear where it was someone would guess, was that you who said that? And that person would say, nope, but I am that.
Yes.
I am that. I am determined, or I am organized, or I am passionate. And
hardworking.
I didn't write that one, but yes, I own that strength. And I think that was so empowering and really inspirational. So stay tuned for future events where we'll be able to have those same kinds of experiences. But so I think we hit all the questions. Let me see. I'm going to scroll through and just make sure that we didn't miss anything. Thank you all for tuning in. You're a natural on camera.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just, again, want to say how awesome it was to work with you this summer. I'm excited to see where you go. I'm excited to come to your retreat someday in upstate New York. We'll keep you posted on all those details. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Inspiring Vision series. This happens once a month, so keep your eyes out for the next one that will be happening next month. Again, if you don't already follow Visionistas by Design, please do so on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. It was great. It was really awesome getting to share my passions with everyone.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great night.
All right.
Bye-bye.